What's going on YouTube? Tyler back again with a video where I'm going to be showing you guys where I'm going to be sending these cards to get graded. As you all know, early in 2021, the grading landscape is a complete disaster. And there's a lot of ramifications on the raw card market, and a lot of you are probably wondering, where in the world should I send my cards? Well, not really a lot of good answers, but I'm at least going to tell you where I'm going to be sending these cards. And in fact, I have them segregated into two piles because they're going to two different locations, and they are not named PSA. For those of you who watched the video where I submitted some high-end cards to PSA, got some poor results, and then submitting them to Beckett for better results. That's what I did previously. Turns out the ROI on that was nowhere near what I wanted it to be. But we're going to try and give Beckett another try with this stack. This stack is going to be going to SGC. So just got a SGC order back at $30 a card now that the rates have dropped. And we're going to be sending these guys off because they're a little bit more expensive, and I think they'll do better in a Beckett case. But first, let's go over these SGC cards. And as you can see, these are a little bit segregated out. These are new purchases that I've made. Well, let's say these guys are new purchases that I've made over the past couple of months. Despite the crash in the ultra modern market, I've still been buying some of these cards with the anticipation to send to a low cost grading company, whether that's CSG or SGC. These guys are remnants where I was going to be sending them to really PSA or potentially a different company, but then the shutdown happened, and I've really been hanging on to these cards. This is part of that massive backlog of cards that I was going through. So now that SGC prices are cheap, I can now go through these cards and add them to the order. Many of these were PSA regular order rejects, meaning that they're not going to be PSA 10s or they're too cheap to send to PSA. So that's why I did not send them previously. But these guys are good to go for SGC. I'm really rolling the dice here, guys. This is uncharted territory for me. There is a lot of factors going on with the graded card market right now that make me extremely worried about grading cards, that make me extremely cautious about buying cards on the raw market. Completely different topic for a different day. Raw card prices are down across the board, and a lot of that is due to PSA closing business, at least taking in new business. And that buy, grade, flip strategy is no longer a thing right now for the majority of the cards on the market, and that is really depressing prices. So with SGC and CSG really being the only game in town for low-end cards, and seeing that CSG is backed up for a minimum of 8 to 10 months for anything that's economical to send in, that leaves SGC at $30 a card, which is still a terrible, terrible price point to send these cards at. But it is the only game in town, and we're going to at least take a chance on some of these and see where we go from there. And if it's bad results, then we're going to adjust from there, and then we may not be sending any cards in to get graded in the near future, depending what the results look like, because lately the results have not been that great. So without further ado, let's jump into these guys. First up, Fleer, Kevin Durant rookie. As you can see, I've got a ton of these cards. These were very, very easy buy and grade cards. This card's off-centered top to bottom, so it's not going to gem. Just hope that I don't end up pulling 8s on some of these, because this one's even more off-centered, so it might actually end up being an 8. This one's even more off-centered. So these cards in PSA 8 grade were actually way better than raw, which is a big reason why I bought them, because they look relatively clean. This card has a chance at a SGC 10, although it's probably not going to get it. I'm hoping that I get a 9.5. It has some back edge chipping. So whenever you see these gem results or the gem rates, you really have to take them within context, because a lot of these cards, as I go through here, I do point out some of the flaws. But if you look at the graded card prices, especially for like an SGC 9.5, those cards still do very, very, very well. Sometimes better than PSA 9s, and we know PSA 9s right now are in fact getting premiums. This is a card that I expect may have a good chance at getting an SGC 10. You can see it's kind of bubbling up as these Beckett shields really kind of compress the card a little bit, so it's getting that bubbling effect. Rising Stars, man, these cards have taken a nosedive in terms of raw card price. PSA prices are coming down a little bit. But really the big thing that we're seeing in the basketball market, or at least the sports card market in terms of depressed prices, is in fact basketball. Basketball is just not doing well right now, and that is really part of the market cycle, guys. Like going into playoffs, cards do not do well. They historically have not done well. Now for Ultra Modern, that's also a major contributing factor. The complete oversaturation that Panini is doing, and it's not just basketball, it's now football, which we will get to. Panini is killing sports cards, just plain and simple. So I really feel bad for a lot of people who are getting into this because if they've bought brand new cards, 2019, 2020, things are not looking really, really good for that market. They're really not. There's just too many cards out there. This is a really interesting play for Damien Lillard. These cards, at least whenever I got these, were in the $300 to $400 range. SGC 9.5s have been going in the $700 range. So you don't even really need to pull a 10 on these to do well, and at $30 a card, that seems like a pretty good play, even though the market is kind of softening a little bit. So now we will go to the new cards that I have purchased. And again, this is with the sole intention of sending to SGC. Literally, that is I bought these because I did not want to wait on PSA. These were not going to be super expressed cards at $300 a pop. I probably will never do that again after getting the results back that I got for my first attempt at that. Big mistake, or at least it was the second attempt. The first time was a very successful attempt. The second order was not so great. So I'm just not really a fan of paying $300 a card. And none of these are really $300 card worthy options, but they are certainly $30 for SGC. So first up, select field level, parallel number to 49. That's the blue parallel. Patrick Mahomes rookie. Yes, I'm sending a Patrick Mahomes rookie to SGC. Go figure. This is a very good shot at a SGC 9.5. It does have a corner flaw on the very back, so probably not a SGC 10, but a SGC 9.5 is better than raw. It really is, and that's why it's going there. Joe Burrow, this is, I forget which parallels these are. Again, this is one thing that I'm going to harp on. Panini is killing football. They are killing football. Select is a dumpster fire this year. So honestly, with all this Select stuff, I did not buy it whenever it was at its peak. I did not do that at all, but I've bought it on the way down. I don't know if I've bought it at the bottom yet, though, because I think that this stuff continues to drop. I've really tried to focus on parallels. So this is a Joe Burrow parallel number to 49. So I'm hoping that actually, of all these, I really want these to be SGC 10s, if not SGC pristines. I'm into these Justin Herberts in the 120 to 150 range. Again, I really feel bad for people who bought these in the beginning because field levels are a marquee staple for football cards. You go back to Patrick Mahomes, the 2018 rookie class, 2019 rookie class. But in 2020, they absolutely screwed the pooch. There are just way, way, way too many of these cards out there with the retail release. And it's really sickening. It's very, very sickening. Having said that, I still think field levels are a good buy at the right price point, but I don't think that we're going to see PSA 10 or SGC 10 prices equivalent to previous years, meaning Patrick Mahomes PSA 10 base field level is a $4,000 or $5,000 card. Justin Herbert will never be a $4,000 to $5,000 card. It never, ever, ever will. Now, could it be a $400 to $500 card in PSA 10 form? Absolutely. Could it be a $300 to $400 card in SGC 10? Absolutely. And actually, I think that's right where it's at. So makes sense to buy these, grade them at $30 a piece, hopefully get some good results back. Elite Series, these are actually very underrated in my opinion because there's probably more of these out there than there are these. So I am a fan of these parallels and hopefully they do well. The card stock on these is pretty good. This is the Elite Series rookie. This one may or may not be gem mint. It does have this chrome technology that they use on this is very prone to chipping. Topps Chrome uses this chrome technology on some of its chrome products. Chrome technology varies from brand to brand, year to year, etc. But this shiny silver stuff really does chip a lot and have surface issues. So we'll see on that one. Contenders Rookie of the Year parallel. super, super cool card. Very easy to grade from the copies that I've looked at. Again, I've not gotten results back, but looks pretty good to me. Mike Trout. This is going to be a very interesting card because I don't know if you can actually see this or not, but there are waves on the back of this card. So this is a perfect condition card. I've graded this card many times and have gotten many PSA 10s, PSA 9s, and a handful of PSA 8s. This is perfect. I have no idea what's going on with the back of this. It's almost like somebody took some type of object, put it on the surface, and it's pressed in on the back. So I'm just sending this in really to see what SGC is going to grade it. If it sneaks by, it sneaks by. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm kind of really ticked off. I really want to return this card, but I'm also curious, like, what's SGC going to grade this? Because this card probably is going to be like an SGC 4, because you could almost say that these lines are creases. But we'll see. So I could be wasting $30, but, you know, whatever. Next up, Mike Trout. This is his Bowman Chrome 2013 X-Fractor. PSA 10s for this card are like $1,500. So this is a perfect regular card to send in. So for a PSA regular order, this would be a regular order all day. But we cannot send it in PSA regular order. I mean, this is very, very clean. Minimal edge chipping or corner wear on the back. This is a PSA 10 candidate all the way, but instead it's going to SGC. Really wish that I could probably have this in a PSA order. So next up, we have another Kevin Durant, and let me see, this first one may have been a glossy. No, I thought that I had a glossy in here, and I might have one, but I may just have already sent it off. So this is another regular one. Steph Curry. Oh, man. This is one guy whose card's going to SGC right now. It is really paying off. This is a very, very good condition card. I really expect that of the copies that I have, that I'm going to get at least one SGC 10 and hopefully maybe two SGC 10s, but I doubt that. This one's probably going to be an SGC 9 or 9.5. But I would like to pull a 10. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put the bad one in front so they see that first. As many of you know, that's a trick that I like to do, whether it works or not. I don't have any evidence of that, but I just hope that it might. This is an Upper Deck First Edition. Upper Deck, to me, is still relatively undervalued whenever you compare it to Topps. Just a trend that I don't really like is that Topps is more valuable than Upper Deck, but it's a new trend. Juan Soto, Bowman's Best Refractor. Again, I bought these with the intent to send to SGC, even though PSA 10s are doing very well. Wish that he would stay healthy and start hitting the ball. I bought these for Prism Kobe Bryant's for around, I want to say 110 or 120 for all four of them, all from the same seller. I think one or two might have a chance at an SGC 10. The others may be SGC 9.5. So a 10 would really make it worth it. If I get no 10s, it may not be worth it. This is a Finest embossed uncommon. So these cards I've graded a lot of, or at least I have a lot at PSA. So I'm curious what they're going to end up grading. They have a regular version, and then they have the embossed version. And this is the embossed version, which is much more rare than the regular one. You can actually see the indentions there. Those are not creases. That's the embossed part of the card. This does not come with a protector that the regular card does. This comes just like this. So these actually do very well of the ones that I've seen in SGC slabs, even though they're not SGC 10s, 9.5s do very well. So hopefully I do well on that. Gonna give a try with a LaMelo Ball base card. This kind of looks like it has issues with it, but it doesn't. It's just part of the sleeve that it's in. Little off center, left to right, top to bottom seems to be okay. There was a back corner that I had to at least like flick with my finger to at least sharpen up, but it wasn't terrible. So this card has a shot at being an SGC 10. Just depends on what they do with this left-right centering. It's certainly within tolerance, but SGC is a very tough grader. So if it doesn't look 10, it won't get a 10. So we'll see. These cards are junk, by the way. Quality on this is terrible, which actually is probably a good thing for grading, because I think PSA 10, SGC 10 will do well and hold its value, because there's not a lot of gem mint cards out there, a lot of off-centered stuff, etc. So in terms of Prism Silver flashbacks, I got 2 Kevin Durant's. Would love to have these in PSA, but just, again, too expensive. 2 LeBron Jameses. I'm probably going to lose my butt on these. I paid around $900 for one and $1,100 for the other. Prices on this stuff has really crashed, which is kind of a little surprising, I will say. And I have 3 Zions. So I'm in the Zions in the 400 range each. So I think I actually bought one the other day for around 300 or so. So these have all dropped in value. Whether or not they do well in an SGC holder, I'm not sure. I didn't want to pay $100 to go to Beckett and dig myself a bigger hole. So these are probably all going to be losers. Just because the ultra modern basketball market, I mean, other than being a first to market for like Alonzo Ball Prism, for the few copies that are graded out there, this stuff is just tanking. It is not doing well at all. Now, old stuff like this, still doing well. 2012 Prism Klay Thompson. This is a beautiful card. Does have a little bit of a line here. Maybe an SGC 9.5, which will still be okay. I'll be okay with that. Revolution Liftoff Zion. This one might be a 9.5. I'm more predicting 9.5s than 10s at this point. I've come to understand sort of what SGC 10s are and what SGC is looking for. They're very tough. They have very strict standards. This one could very well be a 10. I don't really see any reason why this won't be a 10, although, again, Ultra Modern Base has just tanked. It has tanked. There's just so much of this out there that has all come crashing. Now, if you have parallels like this, these are still good buys. This is an example of something that will still hold its value in terms of parallels to base sets, but you know the regular card of this Donruss Zion not doing so hot. Also picked up this LeBron Rookie. Interestingly enough, this was mislabeled. It was labeled as well, at least I think this is his rookie. Maybe it is a second year. I don't know. It was listed as a second year. Maybe it's a rookie. I could have sworn I double-checked and I saw that the graded copies of these were listed as 2013s. But either way, it looked like it was pretty good, clean card. And even if it came back a 9, it's probably going to do okay, and I'll make a little bit on it. I paid $30 for it, and I'm going to pay a $30 grading fee, which is kind of ridiculous whenever you think about it. Also, Ichiro and a Pujols Topps Traded Rookie. This card is pretty clean given that it's a raw copy and it is 20 years old. If I got an SGC 9.5, I'd be happy, but I'm more expecting maybe an 8.5 or 9. Clean centering. Corners are not too bad, but it does have some edge chipping on the back and corner wears. I mean, a 9 and a 9.5, I would be ecstatic on. I don't know what market value on that is. Again, most of those are Beckett or PSA graded. LeBron James base Prism, very similar to the Kobe previously. Again, this one's much cleaner than the Kobe, so I'm expecting a good grade for that, as well as this. This is a LeBron Silver Select from 2014. So I'm expecting a really good result from that. I don't see any reason why that's not a 10. So all these bad boys are going to SGC today. I got to fill out the forms. Going to pay $30 a card. There's about 50, 60 cards here. So multiply that by 30, and that is my fee. Next up, we will talk about what's going to Beckett. Again, I got creamed on my Beckett order. And it's not really because of Beckett. I think it's because the cards crashed, all except Ohtani. So not really an indictment on Beckett. I don't want to throw Beckett under the bus at all. I've thrown Beckett under the bus plenty of times throughout my videos, but that specific order was not Beckett's fault. That was my fault for really taking gambles and risks that I should not have been taking. Yeah, so that's just all on me. So first up, we have, as you've seen in this video, a Zion Williamson rookie on-card autograph. Big issue with these cards. Zion, or whoever was holding these cards, dropped a ton of these bad boys on this corner right up here. So you'll see a bunch of these listed online that have a crinkled up corner. You can see it on the back if you have one. These right here are beautiful. So very, very strong 9.5 candidates. Auto looks pretty strong. So off to Beckett she goes. And I have another one. So because I'm a big fan of Zion, man. So with Ultra Modern, with Zion, numbered and on-card autographs are the way to go. I do not see those losing value. I see those being strong investments long-term. They're strong investments. Do not let the ultra-modern market crashing dissuade you from buying this stuff because you're going to miss an opportunity. Zion is the real deal. A lot of people are saying that he's not the real deal. He is the most efficient player. He is somebody that you can build a championship team around. Period. He is. He may not get one. It may take him 7-8 years before he becomes a contender. Totally fine. I'm probably going to stash these guys away because we are seeing from a PER perspective, Zion is already top 3 in the league already, and this is his second year. So, and he's playing in a league that has LeBron James, Steph Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant, James Harden. Granted, a lot of those people have been hurt this year, but in terms of actual PER, he's right up there with the best. Jokic, Embiid, etc. Luka, how am I forgetting Luka? So the league has a lot of talent, and he's number 3 in PER. Averaging 27 a game, and he's just getting better and better and better. So that's why I bought these. These are now my second and third on-card autographs. I have a third one of these guys that's coming in. I don't want to miss out on buying some on-card autographs of Zion that come with a Panini sticker seal on them. Next up, we have an Earling Holland Sapphire. Market on this has softened a bit. I would love to send this to PSA, but again, I'm not going to pay $300 a card. And I have 4 or 5 of his finest rookies getting graded right now. I'm expecting maybe 110 and 3 9s, and all those values have exploded. So this, I'm actually expecting a 9.5 or better. And at this point, the way that these have gone in Beckett holders over the past week or two, I may be lucky to break even. When I bought this card may have made me $500-600 in a 9.5. Now this card may break even. So I don't know what's going on with soccer, but soccer is kind of dipping a little bit, and it may just be overall market saturation again. Next up, what a cool card. Kevin Durant, Bowman Chrome Rookie. This card is beautiful. It is beautiful. Number to 299. No real issues on the back at all. Perfectly centered, perfect surface. This is a card I'm very scared to send to PSA. I would love to send it, but again, I'm not confident in them giving this card a PSA 10 grade, and I'm very confident that Beckett will give it a 9.5. So off to Beckett she goes, and even if it comes back a 9, I think that I'm able to break even or make money. A Beckett 9.5 on this actually does very well. So this is a difference. This card and this card, I mean, this is kind of an example of like what is good for Beckett and what's not good for Beckett, right? So this card and a Beckett 9.5 sells very close to raw as of today. So kind of a bad candidate, but I'm not sending it to PSA. So off to Beckett she goes. And if I lose money, I lose money. If I make it, I make it, whatever. The market's kind of turned on me a little bit. This card and cards like this, kind of those older superstar rookies. Steph Curry is an example. Giannis is an example. Obviously, LeBron is an example. If you can find them in good condition, that's the key. Find them in good condition, which is very difficult now with everyone grading their stuff. They will do well in Beckett holders. They will do great in PSA holders, but they're going to do well in Beckett holders. So that's what I've done. I've tried to find some of these rare Kevin Durant cards. Even if you can find Topps Chrome, I think Topps Chrome may do well in Beckett. And obviously, the reason why you'd want to send it to Beckett is you're not confident that it's going to get a PSA 10 grade. And right now, I'm not confident. I would be okay sending this to PSA if it was $50 a card, right? But I'm not going to spend $300 a card to figure out if this is a PSA 9 or a PSA 10. It's just not within my interest to find out that this is a loser and waste another $300 plus shipping and handling. I've kind of played that game, and I got to wait for prices to come down in order to take those risks again. This is another example. I would love to have this in a PSA 10 holder. An orange wave of this card just sold for, I didn't see the end of the auction, but it was a bid up to $4,200 in a PSA 10 grade. Orange wave is numbered to 25. This is the gold refractor number to 50. Golds and orange waves typically do well. Waves are usually priced at the same color, the lower tier color parallel, if that makes sense. So orange wave and gold is usually pretty equivalent. Bold, beautiful auto, 2 of 50. in a PSA 10 grade, this may be, again, a $4,000 or $5,000 card. I paid $500 for this right whenever Ohtani Mania was taking place and ramping up. In a Beckett 9.5, it may only be a $2,000 card, maybe. But again, I don't want to pay $300 to find out that this is going to be a PSA 9, waste money, waste time, only had to have to send it off to Beckett, spending another $150. Now I have $450 invested in the card. So I'm very confident that Beckett is going to grade this card fairly and accurately. If it comes back a 9, it comes back a 9. But at least I know that it's a 9, because if it comes back a Beckett 9, it has no chance at a PSA 10. That's kind of how I look at it. And I really want this card to be graded fairly and accurately for the current price that grading fees are listed at. So that's where she goes, off to Beckett. Next up, beautiful Mike Trout. This card was actually mislisted. It didn't have heritage in the title. It had autographed, but it didn't have auto. Somehow or another, I still ended up paying $900 for this card. I think it was $900. Some of the first ones to hit the market sold for $1,500. I think the auctions that have listed auto were in the $1,000 to $1,100 range. So this is the lowest that's hit eBay, but it's also pretty close to market value. The guy who sold me this card sent it to me in a thick top loader, one for a game use jersey with no penny sleeve. So this card rattled around in the mail across the country, and no penny sleeve and a thick top loader. Complete idiot. And yes, it dinged one of the corners because of that. So I had to press it out with my fingernail. Again, that's not altering. That's peeling the corner back with your hand. It's still keeping the integrity of the card. And it looks like it's smoothed out, but definitely not a PSA candidate, although this card would be prime for a PSA grade. Like it needs to be in a PSA holder to maximize value. But I will send it to Beckett, and hopefully I end up getting a 9.5. We shall see. The biggest card of the order, the last one that I will show you guys. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, I'm excited about this card. This is so cool. Steph Curry autograph rookie. Now it is a sticker, but bold, beautiful auto still on the sticker. Autograph rookie from Limited, numbered to 299. So Limited's not a sexy brand by any stretch of the imagination, but this is a Steph Curry autograph rookie jersey. This is part of the base set. This is not this is not an insert. So this is a base set rookie. So a lot of people who want to have every Steph Curry rookie, again, there's only 299 of these. Not a lot of these graded, but the grades actually do end up doing well. This is numbered to 299. This card has a really good shot at getting a Beckett 9.5. It really does. And if it has a Beckett 9.5 grade, this is a very high dollar value card. I would say maybe $4,000 to $5,000. So purchase price right around $1,800. I believe that was the price. I'm going off of memory here for all of these cards. A BGS 9, I believe, actually will make me money. So I'm very excited about that. Corners on this hold up very well. I think that I probably will get a 9 grade on the corners. So it's key that I pull a 9.5 or better on everything else. Centering is perfect. They usually don't screw these cards up from a centering perspective. Edges look perfect, or at least 9.5 worthy. Surface, there was some surface issues that I needed to take care of with a microfiber cloth, but otherwise, this is another gamble card, but the downside of this gamble is that I will still be able to break even and potentially make a little bit if this comes back a 9. And that's what I'm looking for with Beckett. I want cards that are going to, from now on, that are going to be safe, where even if I get the 9, I'll still be okay. And it's going to be with cards like this. It's not really going to be an ultra modern. Now, if these Zions come back 9s, I don't think I'm in good shape. I think I'm underwater. So these, because they're new, they really need to be 9.5s in order for those to be worth it. So those are the cards that I have. I hope that you guys like the video. That hopefully this provides a little bit of insight on what I'm doing with the grading right now and where I'm sending cards. Again, I'm not very happy with the grading situation and what's taking place. I hope that this is a massive correction, at least in the ultra modern market, where values absolutely plummet. I hope that impacts wax prices. I hope that plummets wax. I hope the entire modern market crashes. I really do. I don't want sports cards to crash, but I want all these base cards to absolutely crash. I really, really do. And I have a lot of them at PSA. I have a ton of them. Now, fortunately, a lot of the value that I have at PSA right now is some like 2017 and older. And a lot of it's even Patrick Mahomes stuff. So a lot of the new stuff that I actually do have is Patrick Mahomes, which I'm very confident and bullish on Patrick Mahomes. But any of this newer stuff, man, especially the speculative rookies, whenever you get outside of Zion and Luka, which is kind of the only value people that I would really want from an ultra modern perspective, if you get into these speculative rookies, man, you are burned. You are doing poorly right now, and I hope that stuff continues to crash because that has no business, being traded as highly as it is right now, and it's just flooding the PSA graders' hands. Like they have no business grading all those junk cards, all the base Topps 2021 stuff from all these ridiculously overhyped baseball rookies. I mean, there's nobody from the 2021 class that even compares to the rookies that we've seen in previous years from a rookie logo perspective. Yet PSA is flooded with all these rookie cards. And I don't have any of that type of stuff there. And I don't see any value in having that type of stuff there. So hopefully we see a major market correction and turnaround times become reasonable because demand is just not there to send in all this junky stuff. So hope you guys like this video. Hopefully this provides a little bit of insight into what I'm grading and what I'm going to be sending off. We will see you guys later.